Hi, and welcome once again to Ivy English. I'm Karen.
And I'm Chris Gorski.
And we are on page 69 in your magazines. Today is February 27th. We're almost at the end of the month. And our title today is Small Ducks with Big Personalities.
Man, I am a big fan of ducks.
Yeah, really?
I think ducks are very adorable. I have always liked ducks. I don't know why I love ducks as much as I do, but I see ducks and it just makes my day. They make me so happy. They're so adorable. They actually have some kind of like dark sides. They have like some nasty personalities sometimes. But generally speaking, nothing will warm my heart faster than just some ducks walking around and quacking. Oh boy, they make me smile.
I have two feelings. Whenever we're talking about animals, the first thing I think of is poop. Because unless they are toilet trained, and many animals can be and many are not toilet trained normally. Like I love parrots, but parrots normally poop all over the house.
Birds in general do this. They're not used, they're flying around, and so they just drop it wherever they want, right? That makes sense for a bird. And there's actually a phrase, if you have, like your stomach hurts and you have to go to the toilet very bad and you make a big mess, you say you S like a duck. That's literally a phrase people use, meaning you're really going.
The thing is that parrots, for example, are also very intelligent and they also learn to talk. Now, they don't probably use language like we do, with the same kind of understanding and grammar and everything. But they associate certain sounds with certain events or certain objects. Mm. And in one video I saw, the parrot was on his little perch, and then he just dropped a little white glob and said, poop, poop, or it was poo-poo or something. So you know perfectly well he knows that he's doing it. And you think, if that's the case, shouldn't he be able to be trained? Because he's aware of it, and he knows what it is. And he would often say it to his master, say, going for a poop? Going for a poop?
I wonder if that question shouldn't be asked of humans and their own behaviors. You know this is not right. What are you doing, right? But I'll say to flip this, the bird knows that this action is associated with the word poop. Similarly, my cats vocalize. I have 9 cats, and they vocalize in certain ways where I know specifically what they want. They are specifically meowing in a way where they've trained me. I don't know really what the meow means or says, but I know this is what they want.
That's
they have
right.
trained me much as I have trained them.
Okay, so we're talking about animals and poop. The other thing that I think of when we talk about any bird specifically is birds are really clever. We have the expression in English, bird brain, to describe somebody who's very stupid. That is totally unfair. I mean, even small birds, they are often very, very smart. And among the smartest of birds, besides parrots, are corvids, any kind of crow. They are really clever. They can use tools to do things.
They have incredible stories. We actually had some at our sister magazine, Enjoy English, and I stump for them all the time. Let's talk about birds or animals. I love those stories. And indeed, we had stories about corvids, like you said, crows, and the relationships they build with people. And people still sometimes, they just have this association that birds are kind of dumb animals.
That's right. Okay, so all this background is what I personally think of when I think of animals in general first, and then ducks and birds. Okay, so it's poop, but they're also really pretty smart. Those are the first things I think of. Let's find out what our article has to say about a special kind of duck. Here's our first paragraph. Ducks have been an integral part of human history in various aspects, as symbols, as sources of income, and even companions. Among these, the call duck holds a special place. With its unique quack and cute appearance, this water-dwelling animal has transformed from an assistant into human's best friend.
The story of call ducks began in the 17th century. Bred in the Netherlands, they were initially used by hunters to attract and trap wild ducks. Call ducks have an incredible ability to produce loud quacks or calls, which are notably different from those of most other ducks. This sound draws waterfowl, which eventually fall prey to traps.
Adult call ducks are rather small compared to other ducks. They have round heads, button-like dark eyes, short bills and necks, and plump bodies. They may have white, gray, or black feathers. Despite their small stature, they fly well and will take off if threatened or scared.
Today, call ducks are more likely to be kept as ornamental animals rather than for hunting. If you're considering raising call ducks at home, here are some helpful tips.
Shelter. Provide an enclosed space in your garden with access to clean water for swimming and drinking.
Feeding. Feed them a balanced diet that includes grains and vegetables. Avoid giving them bread, which lacks essential nutrients.
Companionship. Call ducks are social animals that need company, so consider keeping several around to ensure they remain happy.
The call duck is a friendly and lovable breed, plus their cute appearance allows them to stand out and become beloved pets.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Our title again is Small Ducks with Big Personalities, and we find out towards the end of the article why we say they have a big personality. So, from the beginning, ducks have been an integral part of human history in various aspects as symbols, as sources of income, and even companions. Now, what would a duck normally symbolize?
That's a great question. I don't actually know. A bird and therefore freedom?
I can think of one example.
Okay.
It is a sports team in Oregon where my daughter went to college for a while.
Yeah.
Their team is called the Ducks.
And you have an NHL hockey team, the Anaheim Ducks?
Oh, there you go. Okay, so anyway,
sports teams.
We found them used as symbols. Sources of income, definitely people raise ducks for eggs and for meat. And companions, you will find a lot of videos online of people who love their ducks and they become very, very close.
One of my friends growing up, his aunt had a pet duck. And man, it was so cute. I loved that duck. It was so adorable. I just wanted to hug it all day long.
One thing about animals like ducks, probably not just birds, but many animals like mice and other animals, if you are the first being that they see after they are born, they imprint on you. To imprint means they see you and they believe you are their mother. They will follow you around their whole life.
Yeah, very much so. And sure enough, that's what happened. The duck, I don't remember her name anymore. The duck would follow the person around the house all the time. Like, oh, I love you so much.
That's because they think it's their mother. Among these, the call duck holds a special place. So ducks in general will do this, but the call duck is special in a number of ways.
Just a small note. I have seen call duck spelled as capital C, call, and then like duck. I've seen that several times, but I reckon that this is just a variety of ducks. So little c, little d is fine.
I have to admit, I never ever heard of call ducks before this article.
They're really cute. I will say a call duck. I have a video that I regularly share yearly on one of my social media feeds. I don't really use it too much anymore, but I like to look back at the cute videos that I saw from years ago, and it's just a call duck just losing its marbles. They're such noisy animals, and it's just like, bah, 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 bah.
That's really fun to watch.
30 seconds of this duck just going crazy for no reason at all. Just very cute.
And that's a good way to forget about whatever was bothering you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
With its unique quack and cute appearance, this water-dwelling animal has transformed from an assistant into human's best friend. And this is a kind of foreshadowing. They're talking about something that they have not explained yet, but it's coming up soon.
And just like I kind of alluded to, it has a very unique quack. I don't know how to really describe it. It's not a traditional quack, quack, quack duck. It's a very loud, high-pitched quack. You will hear this duck, and they are very loquacious. I've seen this used to describe this kind of duck, which is a great word. Loquacious is a word that just means you're very talkative. It's a polite way of saying you're very talkative. And these ducks do not shut up. And they have big personalities, and they have a bright orange bill and a very fat white body. They are very photogenic, and so not surprisingly, they've become more popular in the social media era.
I don't think I would need a lot of loquacious ducks around me most of the time.
It's so cute.
Okay, how do you spell loquacious? It's L-O-Q-U-A-C-I-O-U-S. L-O-Q-U-A-C-I-O-U-S. Loquacious. That means you talk and talk and talk and won't shut up. Okay,
That's exactly right. What a good description. Okay, let's go to our next paragraph. The story of call ducks began in the 17th century.
That's very straightforward.
Bred in the Netherlands, they were initially used by hunters to attract and trap wild ducks, which makes me so sad.
Me too.
Here are these adorable ducks. Yeah, and now like they have this underlying feature where they're like, yes, we're going to catch these other ducks.
We've got this thing that we do not like people who eat or not people, any living being who eats their own kind. What would those be called?
Cannibals.
Yeah, we don't like cannibals. And actually, a lot of insects, a lot of animals are cannibalistic. They eat their own kind. We just don't like that idea. And we think of a duck being used to catch other ducks for food. It's just not very nice.
What is that? Like Benedict Arnold? What is the phrase used when you betray your own kind? Benedict Arnold,
Benedict
right?
Arnold.
So Benedict Arnold,
they betray their own species.
Was a figure from American history that betrayed the American revolutionaries while they were fighting the British in the 1700s. So this is called Benedict Arnold. You betray your own kind.
Okay.
Let's continue here. Call ducks have an incredible ability to produce loud quacks or calls, which are notably different from those of most other ducks that I described. They're very loud.
That's right. So Chris has already taken care of that. We can move on.
This sound draws waterfowl, which eventually fall prey to traps.
So it attracts other birds, not necessarily other ducks, but other birds in any case.
Okay, this word waterfowl is pretty useful. It's one word. We need to especially pay attention to F-O-W-L, fowl. This is just a word that means bird. Sometimes they're described as poultry, although in modern times, I want to say poultry only means bird meat.
Okay. Our next paragraph, adult call ducks are rather small compared to other ducks. Again, a very straightforward sentence, so we'll just move on. They have round heads, button-like dark eyes, short bills and necks, and plump bodies. Now, that is a really clear description.
Yeah, they look like, you know when you go to your coffee shop and maybe you see someone that has a lot of like that white milk whipped cream foam? That's what these ducks look like. You just want to hug them and kiss them and love them. They're so adorable. Plump is a great word for them. If you know like kind of like chibi art style, like if you drew a duck in a chibi art style, like in a JRPG, this is exactly what they look like. They're very cute.
That sounds like a great idea for a new kind of latte art.
Like a chibi duck.
They may have white, gray, or black feathers. Again, very easy, very straightforward. Despite their small stature, they fly well and will take off if threatened or scared, which is true of most flight birds or birds of flight.
Okay, your small stature means your size.
Especially your height.
Yeah, and stature, of course, is related to the word statue.
That's right. Statue or stature has another extended meaning. So, for example, he enjoys a very high stature in his community. That means he has a very high position. People admire him or look up to him.
They don't have to be necessarily big. They just have high value in their society.
I was just going to say, not all birds fly well. Like chickens, they can fly a bit. They can often fly up to a branch in a tree, but they do not fly well. They've been bred to not fly, so they don't fly away. So not all birds can fly well, but these do fly well, and they will just take off if they are scared. And that preserves them. Yeah.
You know what I learned recently? Chickens are pretty good swimmers. I didn't know that. That makes sense.
Yes.
I never thought of chickens as very good swimmers.
I think I saw a video with a chicken swimming. It was pretty amazing.
Okay, yeah. I learned this recently, not through a video. It was just like, they swim, and they're pretty good at it. Oh, go figure. But it makes sense, right? They're like basically other birds.
That's right, and lizards swim well, too. I just saw one with a swimming lizard.
They do that lizard walk?
It's more like a doggy paddle.
Oh, this is funny. Okay, let's continue. I just have like hearts like appearing over my head. I love adorable animal videos.
Me too.
And this just makes me so happy. Okay.
I really thank my lucky stars for adorable animal videos because you get too depressed reading the news. And you have to keep up. You have to at least know what's happening in the world. But usually I just read the headlines and maybe the first paragraph. I don't watch a lot of videos or go into a lot of detail about the news. It's just too upsetting. I'm going to spend my energy doing that. I'm not going to have enough energy to do my own work. So I will take in a little bit of that, and then I will go to wonderful animal videos, and I feel much better.
Karen, you're so correct, Karen. Social media has a reputation, well-deserved in my opinion, for fostering negativity and anger because it keeps people addicted to their apps and scrolling for ads. They produce negativity because negativity keeps you arguing with other people, and they use it for a profit motive. However, you can flip the script, but it requires a certain amount of discipline on yourself where you remove yourself from the negativity and you seek out and you train the algorithm to what you want. And this involves, in my life, old video games and adorable animals. Yeah. And my feed is filled with just like adorable animal videos. And it brings me such joy to find something really sweet and adorable and share it with my wife. I check out of all that negativity on the internet nowadays.
I think adorable animals are the biggest stars of the internet, and they're kind of our saviors.
How are you about adorable children?
Oh, that too.
Really?
But I've got grandkids now, so I'll just look at my own grandkids.
Yeah, for me, kids aren't nearly as adorable as animals. This is more me, though.
Well, yeah,
my
but
personality.
They're a little more limited. Animals do they have crazy behaviors that you didn't know about. So
right,
I think,
yes, like these things like whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids you kind of basically figured out.
Yeah.
Let's continue on. Today, call ducks are more likely to be kept as ornamental animals rather than for hunting.
Okay, so people still go hunting. I can tell you that for sure because I'm from Minnesota and I have lots and lots of videos and posts and things from Minnesota where they will say things like, make sure you wear orange if you go into the woods because people are out hunting now. They're usually hunting for pheasants, and my uncles did that many years ago. So it's still popular, but it's now more common to use these call ducks as pets. Ornamental animals are basically pets.
That's right. They're kind of show animals. They're not like the traditional cat and dog kind of thing, but they're usually like animals that you want to show off for unique features for whatever reason. And yeah, I agree. There's lots of deer hunters for my community. Deer is the big animal where I'm from.
Right.
All right, let's continue. If you're considering raising call ducks at home, here are some helpful tips.
Okay, so I don't know if any of our listeners would seriously consider doing this, but at least it'll kind of, play with your imagination a bit. First of all, you need shelter. Provide an enclosed space in your garden with access to clean water for swimming and drinking. Now, realistically speaking, in Taiwan, few people have a garden. Few people have a yard. Most of us live in apartments. If you are lucky enough to have a yard and or garden, then maybe you could consider raising call ducks.
So shelter just means housing. And yeah, for sure, if you're in a big city, this is really irrelevant. However, like you said, you can always dream big, guinea pig, right?
I haven't heard that before. That's cute. And I do live in a mountain community, so there are some places where you could do this. In fact, I still don't know which neighbor it is, but I know that they live downstairs from me. They are raising a chicken.
Oh, that's so funny. Me too.
Really?
Yes.
And actually, I love hearing the chicken cluck or crow. I just love hearing it.
We had a chicken in our building, and we live in, New Taipei City, and our guy on the second floor has a larger balcony than average. He just has a bigger one for whatever reason. And he has his chicken, and I loved it. And some people were complaining. It doesn't say cock-a-doodle-doo.
No.
It's not like that.
No.
It's just clucking away, and people got irritated. I was like, how can you be mad at this? This is adorable.
In addition, I have to say that chickens can be extremely affectionate.
Yes, very sweet. I used to just... Like we have bars over our balcony, right? And I'd just stick my face out just as much as I could just to catch a glimpse of Mr. Chicken in his pool. Oh, I loved it.
Or Ms. Chicken or whoever it was.
Miss Chicken, yeah, maybe.
Okay, next. Feeding. Feed them a balanced diet that includes grains and vegetables. Avoid giving them bread, which lacks essential nutrients. Now, everybody in Taiwan, pay attention. Do not feed ducks bread. We love to just take bread because it's easy to buy and you can just break off pieces. It's very, very, very bad for ducks. Do not feed the ducks bread.
It rots in their gut. Now, in the United States, there was a viral video that expressed just this sentiment that do not feed ducks bread. It's not good for them. They slowly die of nutritional deficiencies. Mm-hmm. And what happened is people took the advice and they stopped feeding birds bread. However, they didn't follow up with other more costly food sources. And so the birds starved without the food.
Because they were expecting food from people.
That's right. They were trained to expect food from people, but the people stopped feeding them bread. They never brought corn or grapes or peas, grains, any of these easy, cheap food sources for ducks. And so the birds starved, and they had to die off of birds. And so, unfortunately, this viral video worked too well. And now scientists are saying, listen, it's better to feed them bread than feed them nothing.
No, don't do that.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm a person that takes this really seriously.
Okay.
I'm of two minds of it. So for me, I'm providing good food for them. But it's like, do you starve or do you eat poor quality food? Both are very bad solutions.
My opinion is that this generation of ducks may die off, but some of them will survive, the ones who know how to find food by themselves, which they should be doing in the first place.
That's right. Especially if you're in cold climates, they need to fly south.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's continue here to our next item here, companionship. This means friendship. Call ducks are social animals that need company, so consider keeping several around to ensure they remain happy.
With emphasis on several. Don't just keep one. And that is one reason among many why I would not get a cat, because it's not good to get just one cat. You should get at least two.
I adopted litters, yeah.
Yeah. Because they really need companionship. And then you will often be gone most of the day. And they actually want to be with their own species. I mean, you may have a good relationship with your cat, but you cannot replace other cats in their life.
It's very easy to ask, too, do you have a bonded pair? A bonded pair are two cats or dogs that have a special connection, a special friendship.
Sister and brother.
That's right. And you adopt those two, and they are just adorable together, and they're very photogenic, and they're always
happier.
loving. And that's right. It keeps them much happier if you can.
Okay, we have one short paragraph left. The call duck is a friendly and lovable breed. Plus, their cute appearance allows them to stand out and become beloved pets.
So ducks are quite adorable. They don't look like especially aggressive animals. They can be.
They can be.
They can be. Here's a fun video for you to search right as soon as you finish here. Search for ducks eating peas. And there's this cute video. This woman calls for two ducks. And they go up to this bowl of peas, and they demolish it. You cannot believe the speed they eat this entire bowl of peas. Very funny and adorable.
Okay, let's go to our questions. Number 1. Why were call ducks used for hunting?
And the answer is B. The sounds they made drew prey into traps. I would jump into traps for call ducks. They're that cute.
Prey, P-R-E-Y. Prey is the animal that you are hunting in order to eat. And number 2, which of the following is a picture of a call duck? You need to see the picture. You should buy the magazine. The answer is C, because it is a plumper duck.
That's right. He's so cute. Number 3, which of the following is not recommended when one keeps call ducks as a pet?
The answer is B, feed them a lot of bread, and that applies to all ducks and all wild birds.
Number 4, what can we learn about call ducks from the passage?
The answer is D. They are now raised as pets instead of being helpers for hunters. That's all we have time for today. Do a little looking on YouTube and see what you can find out about call ducks, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.